Welcome back to PCM Yeti. It's episode 93. Cadel Evans, Great Ocean Road Race, early season still. It's only a few days after the other Australian race took place. So for this one, I feel confident that we're going to have some sort of chance here because we've got a +2, little higher than neutral race day condition as a team. And Zayat's offsets a little bit with a -4 himself, which just puts him first on the domestique list. And I've brought a quick team. I've got my best flat rated guys to support my two best sprinters and see what they're capable of. The breakaway is not a threat. The last two riders of it are only just over a minute ahead. And there's a little bit of undulation on the way towards the finish, which is generally good for my team as I lead out. It helps put other sprinters under a little bit of pressure. But the one thing that we're going to need to keep in mind is the early season form. None of these guys have an objective for us, and all of my team is somewhere between about 77 and 82% on their fitness levels as they are building up. Now, other teams are going to have some of their riders here with higher fitness levels than what we have. 30k now left. And for that, they're going to have a little bit of an advantage. But Shaw does have a +2, but it's offset largely by the 78% fitness. So he's still neutral on his sprint. He's got a +2 to stamina and resistance, +1 to his flat. That's about it. And with an 82 effort, this little hill has suddenly seen our guys drop back very rapidly. There was an acceleration, and G and Vasilevsky miss out along with a few other guys. Are there any here that are a threat? No. So I need to get G to step on it. 25k to go, but sudden tempo means we've got to push. I mean, look, G's going 99 and losing ground. The others starting to recover, but G and Vasilevsky back in. Only one rider left off the front. G's going to continue working to get up here. We're seeing an acceleration, attack by a few riders, and that's enough riders going away that this easily could take off and be something. So it's time early, very early, to start controlling this race. So we don't want to go too fast, but we've got to counter what's happening with these attacks. And so Zayats is going to set a steady tempo. We've nearly caught back up to these guys as one team. Has really missed out on that and definitely didn't want to let it get away. So we're going to back off a lot with Zayats here as the next wave of attacks starts to come in already. It's going to be continual at this point. So yes, we need to kind of long-term counter this. So Zayats, we're going to go no red bar, just yellow bar, 99 effort, and just go steady tempo. That's going to allow G to recover a little bit, and then we've got Pickroll and Lind. Puck is very much Lind. So Lind has a 79 flat, Puck has a 79 flat. Lind has a 78 stamina, 72 resistance. Puck has a 77 and a 62 base for that. And then we've got our sprinters. So 13.5k to go. This is the last bigger hill of the day, and Zayats is struggling to set a great tempo right now, but it's not hurting his teammates, and so I'm okay as you're getting a little acceleration here at the front, but nothing serious. There is going to be one more hill along the way, but Zayats has things under control with 10k to go. Let's get G ready. G's going to take over here shortly as yet another attack is getting carried out here. I don't want to get hit on the hill here. So G's going to push on, hit the hill, back off. 7k. After we crest, we are going to accelerate again, actually, as we're down to no red bar there. We'll accelerate again, and Pickroll now pushes on. 5.7.
The finish line is getting close.
Looking pretty good right now. Other teams in a little bit of trouble. We've got to get Vasilevsky and Shaw a little something back in the tank. 4k. Here comes another team. Lind's going to have to take over, and that just means we're going to be Shaw not quite at full strength. But it is what it is. 2.4k. So Lind starts his attack. Puck, who's supposed to be on flat, is going to have to attack. Leading out for Vasilevsky and Shaw. Where am I even at? Just now 1k. Nope. Shaw and Vasilevsky couldn't keep up with the the tempo that had been set. The red bar loss that they had meant that we couldn't sprint them when needing to sprint them. They got ahead of their teammates, but that was all. 14th, 18th. G, who followed behind, got 17th. Pickrell got 21st. And the two lead-out guys, Lind and Puck, 34th, 27th. I've been hearing from other folks that the updated, which is, version 4 of the year or version 3 of the sprint this year, everybody seems to be struggling with it, or at least that's what I've been hearing. Let me know for those that are still playing here and now, late January 2025 of PCM 24, are you having similar issues with sprints? Because we have not been competitive in sprints. Punchy, sure. A punchy sprint, sure. But proper sprints with sprint trains, the AI is absolutely dominating them. I don't even know if we've scored a top 10 in one of those races, even when we've had favorable conditions. Stage 2 of the UAE Tour is a team time trial, and as we set off, I was able to get everybody up to a 90 right away, and I think for 17K, I'm going to try a 91. We'll see what that does for us. It's going to be a pretty hard tempo to try to go, but it's only 17 kilometers. It goes by very quickly. Vasilevsky burns through half in that time. It's just will he get any recovery? Haddad continues to burn, but behind him, Jouet is doing okay. Haddad peels off right as he runs out of energy. Will he recover back here? Hanging on. No, Haddad will not recover, so we're already down one rider. Abdullah, too weak for the pace. Jouet? Jouet's... okay. 91's not going to work. Not getting the recovery necessary. And suddenly we have 4 guys up the road. Just the time's taken on that 4th guy now, right? Oh, come on. Vasilevsky can't keep up with an 89. Can't keep up with the 89 of Vatsek or G, anyway. Haddad is further behind. Jouet and Abdullah might be able to get back up there, but we're relying on Vasilevsky and Lind to try to bridge the gap. They are currently rolling a little too hard at an 89 and can't keep up that tempo, so we'll try an 88, see if they can manage that continually. The front two are doing no good, though. Dead last so far. It's only 34 seconds off. G and Vatsek have to slow down. They can do all of the work once everybody gets to them, but it's a matter of getting them to them. Lind and Vasilevsky are just about hanging on tempo-wise now, but they're coming in on the final kilometer. So we never got the other two back. Minute 17 down is where we come in. Definitely off the pace. That was a slow one. Team time trials are really tricky. They could be very, very tricky. We're going to have another team time trial in a couple weeks. Another opportunity to get that right, especially when you have varying time trialing ratings of your riders. Those that are weak, they could just straight up get dropped by standard tempo. Those that are average can seem to hang a certain pace, but then the better ones go and set that exact same pace, and everybody behind them just blows up because they can't handle the pace being set by the good time trialist. So it's a very tricky area to try to get the balance right, and this one I clearly got wrong. We do come in ahead of Movie Star, but that was a pretty poor performance. It takes a lot of practice to get time trials right, and the problem with your team and your balance is you only get a few of them a year, and so by the time you get to them, you got a different look, you got a different team, you got a different squad, different ratings, and the different lengths of time trials, and yeah, the balance is tricky. I love the challenge of a team time trial, but that was among my weakest performances. I'm not confident in our climbing ability this year, especially without Haglund or Vatsek carrying a negative race day condition like he has today. But we're going to give it a shot and see where we're at. It's always good to kind of test yourself because, like following that team time trial, I wasn't going to do any UAE stages. This is not a big deal race for us. I don't expect us to snowball at all during this race. No riders have focused on it, but you might as well test where you're at, how you're doing, practice team time trial, and see what a Haddad and Vepsic, the only two even moderately decent climbers. Zipanati, I guess, has like a 75 mountain, but he's not here. But yeah, see what you're capable of. For now, we're going to take the blinking red and drift backward because we really can't keep up with the speed long term, and I'd almost rather see us at some stage drift out or be in group number 2 and being able to maintain it longer. We are not going to make it to the top in the front group, especially with Vetsek carrying, -4 stamina and -1 to his climbing ratings. Let's get the domestiques to gel. 12k now. 2 riders off front. I thought they might have been given too much of an advantage, but apparently they were pretty weak riders. Peloton had them right where they wanted them. 6 minutes at the base of the climb is already down to inside 1, as Abdullah Vasilevsky are both heading out the back, and the group has gotten smaller fairly quickly. Lind is not going to last much longer. There goes his energy, and suddenly we're down to 4, so we'll reassess. Haddad and Vatsek should be the guys, but G with the race day condition today is the guy, so we're gonna protect Haddad with Vatsek and Gel, and then Shui will protect G and Gel. Pace has lifted. There's not much of a chase happening at the moment. In fact, those front 2 are staying away. Steinhauser on the attack. Ineos, with things under control, has brought it back together. I'm glad I didn't respond for a moment. I was thinking maybe I should attack, but yeah, very pleased I did not. Shui is done. Down to 71 in the group, by the way. That's a lot of riders still. Very much less tempo than before. Gel and Gel for these last 2. Vatsek's about to run out of energy, and G is the climber of the day right now. 3k left. So we're going to protect G now. 2k to go. Still 41 riders. Vatsek, he's done. I just put him on auto. Haddad, 1.3k. It's down to just G, 1k out. Backing off, hanging in there, 25 riders. 600 meters, 500 meters. Can't contest.
And it's a superb
Pavel Sivakov takes the win. Opens up a little bit of a gap ahead of Ciccone, Zanotti, and Hook and Koos. But G is going to barely miss the top 10. That's a competitive time from G. Quite surprising. I mean, he's right up there with Bernal, Eatfeld, 13th on the stage. Pretty powerful performance. Lipovitz is what, like a 80 mountain, 79 mountain. Gross as well. Uman, it's got to be a 77, 78. And that's before they get their bonus. So for G, a 73 mountain rated guy who had a 76 today, to be that close, that was actually a pretty strong performance. But of course, it already really puts us out of the GC picture in this race. No surprise about that. We won't focus on the others. Omloop Nieuwsblad is a race that I was feeling like, hey, maybe, just maybe. You got 2 hard cobbled climbs just before the end, but otherwise it's pretty easy, relatively easy to keep up and hang on and have a chance. But we've got a -5 draw as a team today, and it's a little bit all over the place. The 3 guys that I would be picking if all were equal, Harasim, Shaw, and Pickrell, collectively have a -10 draw, leaving us with 2 of them forced into domestique roles, and then 2 guys that very much wouldn't have been selected, in Zayats and Puck being the go-tos. So It's going to make it tricky to be able to do anything today. It wasn't a great chance for us. It wasn't a great look profile for us to begin with, and yeah, that's made it a whole lot harder. But we are getting into those cobbled sectors. We'll see how well we can hang on and what we can do with this one. I am going to need to get water here fairly soon. Shaw, how did you get dropped? Is your 59 cobble rating that bad that you just literally lost contact while being a domestique? Yeah, he's gonna have a rough. I mean, I knew he was gonna have a rough day when I saw the +5 to begin with, but holy cow. Let's try to get some water. There's one more cobbled sector coming up here in just a moment, but yeah, incredibly rough draw. Of those 3 leaders, he was the least likely, but you give him a positive race day condition instead of a negative. You like flip all these red numbers to green numbers, okay? 65 cobble rating? Yeah, like that might be enough. That might do it. 63 mountain, 68 hills, that might do it. 76 flat, that's definitely going to be okay to be a part of it. 80 stamina, 82 resistance would be enough. He's gone the opposite direction. He's gone the complete opposite direction. It was one of those, if there was any chance that he can hang on the sprint capability, right? Today would be 79, 80. He then becomes a favorite. It was unlikely stretch for him to begin with, but obviously, like, the guy couldn't even get through the first 2 gobbled sectors of the day without getting dropped, and he was the only rider in the field that managed to get dropped. Here is the one cobbled sector that's going to stand between him and actually completing the water task. Oh, it's a double. It's a double. Look how fast he goes backwards. I mean, it's like he's almost standing still. I mean, he has no red bar to begin with, but what a brutal ride. Shaw looks like me trying to keep up with other riders right now. Nope, not going to make it. He's done. I'm not slowing them down to get back to him, so we need to get somebody else on the water task at 75k. It's actually now increasingly important that I just get him out of the group. Reason being, if somebody else goes to get water, they have to get behind him before they're going to stick their arm up, which means they would have had to go to the very, very back. So with him out of the way, at least we can get on with it. Montez is going to protect, and let's use Free Salam for the water. Now, technically, he's in the middle of the peloton, but he's still very much well above halfway through, and he's got the water, and he's heading back forward. That's why we quickly drop Shaw out of contention, which of course is going to make life difficult on him going solo, but so be it. Not like it's a stage race or anything. It's one day. Okay, water task is done. We've got just some regular undulation for the next little bit. Our 3 leaders are looking good. The 3 domestiques not as good, but not looking too bad right now. Right, here we go into the longest of cobbled sectors that remain. Sequence-wise, there's 2 of them here back to back, and the second one is quite long. 3 stars, 1.1k. That's not that long. Slowly upping that effort to hold that position. And we are good. So far, so good. Outside of Shaw. There have been riders dropped, so contention is getting smaller. There's 13 riders off the front now. That's a lot of riders that attacked, but they are just right there. And we're back in contact. 38k. Upping the effort to hold the position as we get a big acceleration. Next attack from the already broken away riders. Now 7 of them are away instead of 13. So we lessen the group, lessen the power up to an 80 for the effort, and Free Salam is gonna probably no. We're good. We're actually down to those final 2 cobbled sectors where it's gonna be really tough at that point. So Free Salam, we will save his gel, but he will definitely be leading us before that point in time.
The riders are going
Acceleration
through a very tough
there.
portion
It's
with
steep.
percentages
It's
above
short.
10%. The pack
Dropping
is
back
just
a little
railed in the
quick
escape
here, but
group. Several riders are attempting to break
oh,
away.
and it was us.
Attack by Vermeers.
It was Puck. It was Puck who lost contact there with that group ahead, and their drift got a lot worse as a result. It's already back in contact,
It's
but they
survival
lost a
of the
lot of
fittest,
ground
and
there.
evolution
But they
doesn't
now
seem to
need to
favor those in the rear.
waste
There's a
some
growing
energy
list of
to
riders
get
left
those bike
behind.
lengths back and get back into position. Again! Puck! Puck is not hanging onto the wheel very well at all. Just a single rider off front. Zayats and Montez are in good position, but these two. Alright, we've got to start moving into position here with the two climbs coming. Montez and Zayats will hang on for just a little bit, but Montez, we will gel up. Free Salam is now done, so on to Harasim. He's got no red bar, so we'll just go 99. Alright, this is it. 4 stars. 4 stars, 1 kilometer. Harasim was done, so we had pick roll take over. He's got no red bar, but he's pushing as hard as he can, which isn't really hard enough. But that's one of them done. That was a lot to get through that. Zayats is hanging on. Montez got dropped there, and Montez is now the one to chase. We're going to have him take over the work from pick roll while they try to chase down Zayats, who is hanging on, but even Zayats got dropped here. So we're going to need team members working together if we're going to have any chance of pulling these guys back. But Montez starts to accelerate. Zayats 91, blinking red. That's just going to have to be that. Get over the top, and then you could worry about what's next. Montez is just about toast, but pick roll can't hardly keep up with him. Come on, pick roll. 99 effort, 70 hills, and he couldn't go any faster. Wow, Montez is 77. Pick roll had the better cobble rating, but so we've got 17. We are chasing 31, who are chasing 25. If Zayats has any chance, we've got to get in contact with this group so that there's some sort of lead out, and then it's, well, pick roll's the quick man over Puck, and it's definitely not Zayats. Zayats isn't winning squat alone. Pick roll's too tired to be featuring in a sprint, so we've just got to use him to get up there. Puck trying to attack and go solo and not bring the whole group with him.
Watch out, a team leader is falling behind.
There we go. Okay, he's here. He's the quick man over Zayats, so Zayats is going to take over. But there's still 25 riders ahead of us, and it's 1K. No. Yeah, we're not catching up. There was 100 meters left to go. Turner takes the win. There's no use trying to sprint with Puck. He had enough red bar to get half a wheel. The focus on trying to just catch up to get in position to be able to do anything. Again, Zayats wouldn't do anything. He couldn't cover that gap alone. He needed support. By the time we make contact with Zayats, we're literally meters away from the front group crossing the finish line. So, yeah. Part of that's on race day condition, right? 2 weaker guys getting a nice solid green, where all the guys who had inequality had big red race day conditions. It's really hard to compete. It was going to be really hard to compete over those last 2 cobbled climbs. They're very steep. They're both 4 stars. They're short though. So if you can be positioned at the front, get some momentum, you're not going to drop too rapidly. But that's a place where somebody who's punchy and has a cobble rating is going to go up much, much faster than somebody else. You're not just going to lose a couple bike lengths. You're going to lose a dozen bike lengths at best type scenario. So it's always always a tough race to be able to compete unless you have that combination. And with better race day condition, there was a couple of guys today who might have been able to do more. Not with that condition. That is going to do it for this episode, though. I'm a Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.